So right now, while the handouts are being circulated, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Stephen Heller. I'm a licensing attorney, and I'm also the owner of a licensing agency called The Brand Liaison. At The Brand Liaison, we represent both brands and manufacturers, and the primary areas of focus where we license are fashion brands, children's properties, sports, and we represent several celebrities, including Damon John, who was here at the Licensing Expo this morning, David Tutera, Robert Irvine, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. If any of you have seen me before speak, you all know that my famous or infamous story of discovering the Ninja Turtles back in the 1980s when it was still just a comic book. And I saw the Ninja Turtles and I said, this thing will never sell. I've regretted it ever since, but I made up for it. You lost me. They lost me? You still hear me? Okay. So after passing on the Ninja Turtles, I made up for it a few years later when I signed the Sesame Street license for Kmart, which was an opening program of over $100 million. Since then, I've handled worldwide licensing deals for brands like Gloria Vanderbilt, Nautica. I've done licensing deals with the NFL, the NBA, Warner Brothers, Disney. In fact, last year we got our client the rights for the NFL for all of China and Asia. So I'd like to welcome you all to our seminar and myself and introduce my partner, Alita Friedman.
Thanks, Stephen. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm Alita Friedman. I started my career as a CPA, so I'm that numbers geek, and got into branding in 2003 when someone passed me a little plush doll and had called it the Ugly Doll and asked me if I was interested in creating a brand, and worked on all the product development, sales, marketing, and eventually licensing. So I was sitting kind of where you're sitting. 16 years ago was my first licensing show, and learned how to put deals together based on the brand that I built. And you'll hear a lot of things today as we speak about sort of the do's and the don'ts and the tricks of the trade in negotiating. After working on that brand for 12 years, we did a movie deal with a big entertainment company, and we had our movie come out last month in May, and we have an animated feature film. We also turned it into hundreds of licensed products, and we're enjoying now turning it into a television show on Hulu. 5 years ago, after working on that brand for so long, I decided to go out on my own and work on new brands. So I work on everything from startups to patented products to consumer products. I'm involved in a few ventures on my own, some of which were on Shark Tank. And I also work with clients that have brands and want brand extensions, basically creating revenue for brands through really interesting collaborations. Some of my current projects include Lufthansa Airlines, where I just signed a deal with a toy manufacturer so everyone can enjoy little toy planes. I work on an artist movement called Inktober. I work on preschool properties, gaming properties, and happy to connect with you. I'm also on the executive board of Women in Toys Licensing and Entertainment, and I will pitch that tomorrow morning. There's a great networking breakfast that starts at 7:30 at the Border Grill, and everyone's welcome to join there, men and women, and it's really an amazing group, and we're all about making sure that everyone has opportunities in this industry.
For the aspiring women entrepreneurs here, the Women in Toys organization is actually a great organization. They do a Women Empowerment Day, and I've seen remarkable things happen, so I encourage all of you to go to Alita's event tomorrow. So enough about us. Let's talk about you guys and why you're here. Let me see by a show of hands, how many people in the room are a licensor that has a brand that they're looking to license? Excellent. And how many people here are licensees that are manufacturers that are looking to take on licenses? That's great.
Good mix.
And how many of you people don't know the difference?
Oh, come on.
I'm so glad that you guys are here and you have knowledge of what we're trying to accomplish. What we're going to teach you today is how to negotiate those licensing deals. So for all of you brand owners that have created a unique property or have a brand or characters that you're trying to license, this term sheet that we're going to go over today is going to be super helpful to you. And those of you that are manufacturers that take on licenses, that are walking the show and looking to acquire a property, this is the same term sheet that the licensors will use to negotiate your deal, and hopefully will give you some great tools and tips how to get the licensing deal you want without overcommitting or overpaying. So everyone wants to get the most out of a licensing deal. Our goals for today, we're going to provide you with a handy reference term sheet to use to negotiate the formal license agreements. We're going to offer some tools and insights to tackle the common hurdles that act as an impediment or an obstacle to completing a licensing deal. And we're going to explore various payment structures and give you some tools and tips how to negotiate the financial terms of a license agreement. So for the licensors, the people with intellectual property, let's talk about how you get ready for licensing and what are the requirements that you need for licensing. Go ahead.
So really it's about finding that compelling driver. So everyone knows they have to have their elevator pitch. What is your compelling driver? What in 2 seconds are you trying to get across from somebody about why your brand is so great, or why someone should take your brand, or what types of brands you're looking for? It could be social media. Your statistics could be like off the charts. It could be sales figures that you've sold an incredible amount of product. It could be that you have a patent or something extremely special about your product. It could be a unique fan base. So just to give you an example of a very niche fan base, an artist brand that I'm working on right now has a 90% conversion rate on e-commerce for their products because they have such a focused audience. That's very interesting, coupled with a 12 million user uploaded Instagram number. But it could also be something about your IP that's different. So you want to make sure that your IP is different, it's compelling, and you want to be able to get that point across very easily, what your product is, why it's compelling to someone.
So focus on, when you do that elevator pitch, pretend you're on Shark Tank and you only got 60 seconds to explain to them what you have and why they should invest in you. Because a licensor, if you have a property or a product that you're trying to license, you're going to be asking someone to give you money. They're investing in you to go and sell that licensed product that they're going to license from you. Be able to get to that compelling driver. And unfortunately today, a cute character or a fun name alone may not be enough. Have some statistics, conversion rates, social media statistics, and the compelling reason why someone's going to invest in you.
Yeah. Why are you so different than everybody else that's out here? Why is your character brand better, cuter? Is it international? Does it have a flavor? Like, what is it about your brand? And if you don't have that, go back to the drawing board and figure that out, because if it's been done before, everyone here knows that. They want something different.
Now, an agent can help you, and Alita and I are both licensing agents, can help you get that property ready for licensing. So why do you work with an agent? Well, agents perform various functions, but the first one is going to be to help you evaluate your property and prepare your pitch deck. Get that property ready for licensing, how to present it, how to get those compelling statistics and reasons across quickly. Licensing agent will help you with introductions. A lot of us know all the major players. We know the companies that have the reach and the distribution to the major retailers. Will help in the negotiation. Many licensing agents can help in the management of your licensing program, especially when you have multiple partners. And of course, the royalty collections, making sure you're getting paid the money that you're expecting.
Sometimes it's a little bit different than you might think. So you want to have the expertise of somebody who's done a lot of deals, who's made some mistakes, who've seen the ups and downs, and knows how to turn things around for the positive. So one thing Stephen just said was that agent's going to help you organize your brand deck. That is extremely important because you know your statistics, you know your brand inside and out, but it needs to be laid out in a very systematic fashion that you're telling your story through your brand visually, but you're also including the proper statistics so that someone's evaluating if they want to make an investment in this brand and in you, what that story is. So the brand deck is a critical piece of that.
So how are agents compensated? For us, every representation is different. We always look to create a compensation structure that provides incentives. We like to stay hungry and participate in a profit sharing or a revenue sharing. But very often with representation of new licensors creating a property, there's a lot of foundational work. So many agents have a base monthly fee or retainer, plus some sort of a contingency or commitment. And that aligns the interest of our client and our agency, because we both have the same goal: maximize the revenue, create revenue streams that will last a long time. The commissions, when commissions are paid to a licensing agent, very often there's going to be an advance, the royalty payments, and often there are guarantees and minimum payments. For those of you that are licensees can also work with a licensing agent. Corey Weisner, who's part of Brand Liaison, he represents our manufacturers. He goes out and he helps our licensees find the right brands. And it's a very similar structure where we're building in our commission based on the volume of the performance of the properties that we bring. Mm-hmm. So